President Cyril Ramaphosa could soon find himself appearing before Parliament's Section 194 committee that's looking into the fitness of suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane to hold office. Advocate Mkhwebanes' legal team wants to write to the President to come and testify, at the inquiry. Well, earlier this week, the President rejected a proposal by the UDM's leader, Bantu Olomisa, for him to indeed appear before MPs on that committee. Let's talk about this with constitutional law expert, Advocate Paul Hoffman. Advocate Hoffman, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the program. So you've got now, it's been put officially before the committee by Advocate Dalimpofu in the last day or so that they do want President Ramaphosa to be among the people who are witnesses in this inquiry. Is it time for him to do that? Because he turned it down earlier this week.
Yes, I think the different people have different agendas in relation to getting at the president. You'll notice that Bantu Olomisa, on the first day of the inquiry, wanted him to come along there. I think in that instance, the president very correctly said that information around the suspension of the public protector is irrelevant to the inquiry currently underway. The suspension is something that is done under the Constitution in the discretion of the President. And if anybody is unhappy about that, the remedy is to take his decision on review in the High Court. If the concern is about other matters, then different considerations will apply. But certainly the whole matter of the suspension is not something that is before the parliamentary committee.
Right.
It is not something on which they're being asked to make a decision. So to call him to say why he did make the call to suspend her is simply not within the remit of the committee.
Well, Advocate Mbofu says he wants the President to appear to speak specifically to allegations, as per Advocate Mbofu, that he's made about the Public Protector, things to do with perjury. We know that there's been a long back and forth between the two of them, even about the reports where the Public Protector has investigated allegations involving the President. Does that have more merit than the issue of the suspension, which, as you say, the committee is not seized with?
Yes, I'm not entirely clear on whether the perjury allegation is what the council acting for the Public Protector wishes to bring up. It seems to me that the perjury matter will be dealt with in the criminal courts in the normal course, and the perjury case, which was not brought by the President, was brought by us at Accountability Now. That case relies entirely upon the findings of the Constitutional Court in the Reserve Bank, Absa Bank matter, in which the Public Protector's findings on a complaint of ours were actually set aside by the courts, and the setting aside was confirmed on appeal to the Constitutional Court. And the Public Protector was ordered to pay part of the costs out of her own pocket because she behaved so badly in relation to the claim. But it's not only Olomisa and the Public Protector who are after the President. There's a march on Lutuli House today, apparently orchestrated by the RET faction of the ANC, asking him to step aside, and the EFF Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema is intent on calling a national stay-away and on moving an application in Parliament, a motion in Parliament to have the President impeached as well. A motion of no confidence in the President is on the drawing board from the point of view of the EFF.
Right.
It's just a general antipathy towards President Ramaphosa from these quarters.
You mentioned the EFF leader, Julius Malema. In that briefing yesterday, he also said that this inquiry into the fitness of the Public Protector to hold office should not be used to pursue ANC-linked factional agendas, so to speak. So especially now that Advocate Mbofu has said that they would want the President summoned to appear, would the committee now feel compelled to summon the president in order to avoid allegations that it is shielding him and his evidence, whatever it may be, from scrutiny?
Yes, it seems that the pretext for calling the president relates to the error that he made in answering a question in Parliament concerning the provenance of a donation by Gavin Watson of Bosasa of R500,000 to the CR17 campaign. Now, I'm not entirely clear that that has got anything at all to do with the allegations of incompetence and of misconduct that the public protector is facing. She is on the carpet for misconduct and for her incompetence, but the matter concerning Bosasa seems not to me to be of any great relevance to those questions. Is she incompetent? Has she misconducted herself? That's really what the case is about.
And there's also the argument, and it was made, in fact, in perhaps more clearer terms by the EFF at its briefing yesterday, where they're saying they, in fact, are now trying to build a case for the president's own impeachment. Now, it's a strong-term impeachment, even when you consider what it can achieve globally. In our context, what sort of case would one have to build to prove that a head of state should be impeached?
Yes, it's a question of showing that there's been serious misconduct on his part, and the question of whether there is serious misconduct is a matter of degree. And I think that Malema is trying to relate this to the manner in which the president has gone about fending off queries in relation to the burglary that occurred at his Pala farm. And it is unfortunate that he's chosen to behave as though he's an accused in a criminal case rather than the victim of a burglary, where he could, in a dispensation where openness, accountability, and responsiveness are the watchwords, he could quite quickly have said, well, this is how I came to have the money stitched into my couch, and this is how much I say was stolen, and this is how much I got back, and this is the way it happened that I got it back. And, you know, people would then interrogate his explanation and seek to draw such inferences as they wish from the explanation. But the way he's playing it is to say there's a process, and I'm not going to speak. I'm going to let the process unwind. And he's bought himself extra time from the acting public protector. I think he's been given to the 18th of this month to answer the 31 questions.
Has that strategy, though, Advocate Hoffman, not been to the president's detriment, whether he's found through a police investigation to have actually broken any laws? Choosing to be so vague and give as limited information as possible has not certainly, in the minds of South Africans, done away with the level of suspicion, especially now that there's a mounting political campaign to say, in fact, he's being dishonest or not revealing the full extent of what he knew and when, because this robbery once more was committed in 2020, but we only found out about it a few weeks ago.
Yes, we know a lame duck is a duck that can't walk too well, but when the duck doesn't walk too well because it shot itself in the foot, then it's a special kind of lame duck, and that's what we're looking at here. I think the president was poorly advised in a political context. He may have been advised very well by lawyers, but in a political context, he was poorly advised to adopt this I'm not saying anything, I'm allowing the process to unfold attitude. It's done him immeasurable harm.
Advocate Paul Hoffman, good to have your thoughts as always. Thank you for being on Daytime Update.